And as you take your seat, just sit nice and tall through your spine, palms down along the thighs. Close your eyes or take a low gaze. And today I'll ask you to picture your very favorite place to be. Whether it's a room in your house, be it indoor space or outdoor space. Maybe you're picturing yourself just beside water, up on the mountaintop, wherever it might be. Let's give ourselves this time of practice as a bit of a retreat. And as you picture that perfect retreat and location for you, have a fullness of breath. An ease across the shoulders, an openness in your heart. And tuck the chin down to your chest. Move the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And then chin down to the chest, left ear over to the left shoulder. Sometimes that favorite place for me, I imagine that I'm in a hammock and see that swing side to side here, and head, neck, and shoulders just back and forth. Do that a couple more times. And then keep the chin down towards the chest. And just pause again. Lift the head to neutral, but keep the eyes closed. And this time it's just a tilt of the head, like right ear over towards the right shoulder. But then you lift the head to neutral and tilt. Second direction. And then lift the head to neutral. And this time turn. Look over the first shoulder. And then to neutral. And look over the second shoulder. And back to neutral. Gently let the eyes open. Good. Take the right hand all the way out to your side and then reach the left arm overhead. Imagine that top hand is carving a rainbow. Take it all the way up and over to the other side, and the other hand joins. And we'll do this flow side to side a little bit. So we're in a bit of a flow, just matching a couple of movements together throughout the whole beginning half of practice today. We're just going side to side. We're not holding anything for very long. Think of it as dynamic movement where we're matching a lot of change in motion with change in breath. Good. All right, I want you to pause in the center, lift both arms up to the sky. And then just lower all the way down. Good. Come on over to all fours. And as you find all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, do cat and cow. And again here, sort of this constant flow and movement, back and forth. There's no rush through it though. You can go as fast as you want, as slow as you want. Next, inhale, come back to a neutral spine, tuck your toes and do downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. And then walk the dog, so you're pedaling the feet back and forth. You can keep a bend in the knees the entire time here. Anytime you're in downward facing dog, really, you can have a bend in the knees. Back and forth. And from here, we'll take it right into ragdoll pose. Walk your hands back to your feet. Let your upper body fully hang over the lower body. Hold on to your elbows and sway a little bit from side to side. Let a few breaths out through the mouth, just really releasing. Letting it all go, staying in that picture of your favorite place. And then slowly rolling up to standing. Roll, 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 shoulders up and back a couple of times. And roll the shoulders forward and down as well. Okay. Take your right arm and stretch up towards the sky. And then sway over to the side in a crescent shape. Go back up to the center. Second arm, reach up and stretch across. And back to the center, both arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Touch down to your mat. And then walk your hands forward to find down dog. Once there, take just one breath. And then bring the knees down to the mat and do a couple of rounds of cat and cow here. Child's pose. Press the hips back to the heels. Reach the arms out in front. And then walk both hands over to the right side. Walk the hands across the center and over to the left side. Again, back to the middle, up to all fours, cat and cow. So we kind of move in and out in the same way here. Downward facing dog. And then walk your hands backwards to your feet. Here we are. Inhale, stand up, arms to the sky. And we're going right back down. Exhale, fold over. Walk the hands forward. One breath. And then lower your knees and do cat and cow. So we're repeating the exact same movements here. It's child's pose. And if you know you like a longer hold here, you can just stay here. If you like that walking side to side, go ahead, walk the hands over to the right, across the center, over to the left, across the center, back through all fours, cat and cow. Again, downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. Stand up, hands to the sky. We have one more time through this. Exhale and fold. Using some extra agility and strength to walk it out to downward facing dog. And then lowering the knees, cat and cow. Child's pose. Staying hands straight ahead or walk it over to the right. Across the center, over to the left. Good. Across the center, back through cat and cow. Finishing up with this sequence, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back. Stand up, arms to the sky. And bring palms together, center of the chest. Take a pause here, a couple of full breaths. And then change hands to the hips. And take your right foot and step forward until you find your full stride in a lunge. So just kind of step, step, step until you're using that full length of your high lunge. Make your back legs straight, so we really want to engage the muscle of the quad. Lift up on the back heel. Okay. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Okay, so this is the top of our pose. Arms overhead, bent front knee. And then here's the variation or the movement and the flow. Inhale, straighten the front leg and lower the arms. And then exhale, rebend, arms overhead. Let's do it together 3 more times. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Keep the back legs straight, firm the whole time, and the movement comes from the front. Straighten and bend. Stay right here. And then spin the back heel down, open up the hips to the side so you're in warrior 2. We'll kind of find each pose. Take the arms to the sky. Okay, so we're gonna start here. And then again, we go inhale, straighten the leg, and extend the arms either direction. Exhale and bend. Inhale, straighten, arms out. Exhale, overhead. Good, do it 2 more times. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend. Bring the hands on either side of the front foot and lower the back knee all the way to the ground. Okay, hands up to your front thigh. So I've got my back toes tucked. I just like it better that way. Some folks like flat foot. It doesn't matter. Back toes for me give a little more control. I want us to keep so lifted and strong here that we feel as though there's more movement up away from the ground than there is down. This time, again, arms overhead, and we're adding a twist. Take your left hand to the right thigh, and then back up to the center. Good. We've got 3 more like that. So it's inhale and twist, exhale to neutral, inhale and twist, exhale to neutral, inhale and twist, and exhale to neutral. Lower the hands down. Go all the way back to downward facing dog. And then walk your hands again backwards to your feet and come all the way up to standing. Okay, so then we'll do this full series on the second side. Just walk the left foot forward until you find your full stride. Usually we step back, so it kind of feels a little bit awkward, but that's part of the point, getting us familiar with a different way of these same poses that we see pretty often. Okay, arms overhead. So here we go. We straighten the front leg and lower the arms. And then exhale and bend. And maybe you're sitting to the same point or a little bit, tiny bit lower. Straighten the leg and bend. Watch where your front knee goes. You want it over the second and third toes the whole time. Straighten the leg and bend. Good, try it one more time. Straighten and bend. I'm always a little wobbly. It's just a part of the practice. Go to warrior 2. Spin the back heel down, arms out. We find the shoulders, the hips open. And let's take the arms overhead. Okay, we straighten the front leg, extend the arms, and then exhale, bend, arms overhead. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. And then lower the hands either side of the front foot. We pick up the back heel, let the knee go all the way down. Good. So we're kind of taking our time to find each pose, arms up to the front thigh. That sense of feeling more lifted in the entire body rather than sinking down. This is what we'll call the neutral position. And then we're twisting, right arm over the left thigh. Good. Arms up, neutral. Do it 3 more times with your breath. Flow and upright. Exhale, arms down and lift. And then 1 more time, add the twist. And back to neutral. Lower the hands down. Downward facing dog. Take it a step back and pedal out your feet. Enough bend in the knees that you can walk your hands backwards to the feet. And then hands to the waist, point the elbows to the sky. Push down into your feet and come all the way upright. Cool. Let's come up to the front of the mat. We'll put those 3 poses together all in one flow. So not in and out of the pose, but more like what we're used to. Hold a couple of breaths, change, hold a couple of breaths, change, hold a couple of breaths. Yeah? So from the top of the mat, extend the arms down by your side. Maybe one of you thought I was next to a mountainside for your favorite place. Let that be for you here. Really strong and secure. And then inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees until you can touch down. Inhale, half lift. Hands can go to your thighs. Extend from the hips all the way out to the head. Nice full L shape in the body. Step back to plank position. That's our first plank of class, actually. Straight arms, straight legs. Squeeze the heels in. Squeeze the glutes nice and strong. Top of your push-up. Lower the knees to lower all the way flat down. And then peel the chest up for cobra. And downward facing dog. Step the right foot all the way forward in between the hands. Come up to your high lunge. Arms straight overhead. Front knee still over the second and third toes. Nice full long stride. As you lower the arms, straighten the front leg and hold here. Lift up on the right kneecap, tone the right quad. Squeeze the glutes strong to hold the position. And then spin the back heel down, extend the arms out, and bend the front knee for warrior 2. Gaze out over your front fingertips. Straight up and down in the spine here. Lower the hands on either side of the front foot. Set the back knee down. Lift the arms up to the sky. And then add the twist. Left arm towards the right thigh, right hand behind you. Hold the pose. Lower the hands back down, either side of the front foot. Step back, plank pose again. Nice strong push-up, toes or knees. And then lower flat down against the mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. And we go back to downward facing dog. Same sequence, same 3 poses, second side. Step the left foot forward. Come upright, arms to the sky. Okay, straighten the front leg, lower the arms. So it's like pyramid pose with the back heel lifted. We gotta stay engaged on the front thigh. And then back heel comes down, open the hips and shoulders, extend the arms, and bend the front knee again. Warrior 2, gaze out over your front fingertips. From here, we take the hands down, lower the back knee, hands to the front thigh to find your stability, arms up to the sky. And then add the twist, right arm across the left side. Hold here. Nicely done. Arms to the sky. Lower each side of the front foot. Step back to plank. One more time, lower to the mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. And downward facing dog. Deep bend in the knees, walk your hands backwards, backwards, backwards to the feet. Come up halfway and forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Take the palms to your center. Movement takes most of the concentration. If you had forgotten that mental favorite place, bring yourself back there again. So that throughout practice, we just keep touching base. And release the arms down. If you want to face the long edge of your yoga mat, that probably makes the most sense. And then have your feet a little wider than the hips. This moves us into our balance series, and it's similar in that we're going to keep some movement going a little quicker than we might typically do. So I'm going to turn the toes just slightly out, and then bring most of your weight over to one side until you can have just the toes tapping on the ground here. Okay, extend the arms out. That toe either gets to stay down against the floor or lift up. And then as soon as you get there, we're going to go right across the center, almost like an arabesque shape, go over to the other side. Bottom knee can be bent or straight. Come across your center and go back over to the first side. Toes stay down or lifted. Good, we're getting the flow here. Go back to the second side. Do it one more time, side to side, through the center, to the first, through the center. Lovely, second side. And stop in your center, hands go to the hips, and you're doing a little tiny bit of a bounce. Try to have the chest upright so the shoulders are not leaning forward. We're right straight up and down over the hips. And it's tiny, tiny little movement. And then you're going to go low and stay low. Take the hands to prayer position. Maybe say one as we hold for just a moment more. Think tailbone straight down, head straight up. And then can you stay in this very low position in the legs and go back over to your first side all the way into that star? So the difference here is that I have a deeper bend on my standing leg. Come across the center, Shift the weight over to the second side. I'm trying to keep more bend in the standing leg. Across the center, back to the first side. Nice job, ladies. Back across the center, over to the second side. You might feel that in your ankles tomorrow. If you're wondering, why are they a little achy? Sorry. Little tiny bounce. And then straighten the legs, turn the toes, feet parallel. Fold over to your center, touch the ground. I'll give you a little pause here. Just breathe. Try to have a little more weight in your fingers and in the front of your feet, less weight in your heels. And give yourself about 4 more breaths here. So just stay right there, about 4 more breaths. I want you to look over towards what was the front of your mat. Come back into a low lunge, all the way to downward facing dog. Lower your knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, and sit back in child's pose. Hands can form a little pillow for your forehead. So all of that movement, all of the flow for the first half of our practice today. And we're going to keep the second half of the practice lower to the mat, longer holds in the poses. So stay right here. Then bring yourself back upright. We're going to sit fully on our seat and extend the legs straight out in front. As you extend your legs out, you can have them still a little bit apart, like outer hip distance, almost as wide as the sticky mat. Flex your feet and point your toes straight up to the sky. Have the hands right back behind you so they can hold you upright. If you feel as though you're a little rounded, just bend the knees and see if you can bring yourself more upright. And then from that upright seat, hinge forward. Place your belly closer to your thighs and reach the arms out in front. And if you started with a bend in the knees, it's going to stay with you. If you started with straight legs, you want to keep the legs straight. Finding a good steady stretch here, not having to overdo it though. Just right where you start to feel an increase in intensity. And then I want you to back off until you're back to your neutral position and change soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Okay. Soles of the feet together with the knees out on either side. Hold on to your shins here rather than all the way down to your feet so that we can stay more easily upright. And then I want you to go around in a circle. And try to like move the pelvis a little bit so that as you come around in the circle, maybe you feel just one side of your butt on the ground at each time. Yeah. And then you're going to rock and do that the second direction as well. All the way around. Looks a little bit funny, but if you are working from home, this is a really good one to counterbalance sitting in the chair all the time. Just get some movement going. Okay, and then we'll come back to a neutral position. Take the hands behind you and just lean back a little bit and lift the chest. Bring the knees back up. Extend one leg out in front of you, cross the other foot over. And you're going to twist towards the lifted leg. Look either to your side, or you can keep looking back over your shoulder. Okay, we'll come across the center and switch legs. Just cross the other one on top. We want a flat foot, both sides of our seat on the ground, sit up nice and tall, and add the twist. And I'm just holding the front of the shin. We did do that lunge with the twist a little earlier, so if you find the elbow on the other side of the thigh, you could do that as well. And inhale, come back across the center, extend both legs out. Okay, I'm gonna use the length of my mat, but wherever you feel comfortable in your space, find a straddle position. I like to sit with my butt at the back end of the mat and the heels towards those front corners of the mat. The legs do not have to be that wide though. Okay, flex the feet, toes, knees straight up to the sky. And this is kind of like the mixing bowl we've already done. You can get your arms actually into the equation as well. So we're just mixing, 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 long and full circles. Really good. And you'll go in the opposite direction with your circle. Keep the sense of heels down, squeezing in towards the center, especially as you go lower and longer in this circular position. Okay, and then stay right in your center. Maybe close your straddle like an inch or two, like just slightly more narrow. And then walk yourself down to the center. And you can hold on your hands or on your forearms. If it's hard to do either, then keep narrowing your legs until it finds its way a little more easeful, or bend the knees. So like if I'm with a bend in the knees, it's easier to get low. And from all of that movement and flow, just try to settle in. Maybe your favorite place was in the sand with the beach waves rolling in and out, and you can just stay there, be there. Give yourself just a couple more breaths here. And then come back upright in the spine. Okay. Take the legs in, and we're going to change to lie down onto our back. As you lie down on your back, pull your knees into your chest. And we start with that little bit of flow. Just rock a little bit from side to side. So same kind of pattern here. Some movement at first, and then we'll settle in for a longer pose. Set the soles of your feet down on your mat. Take your hands, brush them close to your heels. Bridge pose, press down into your feet, shoulders, head. Lift your hips up, squeeze the glutes. So you're strong on the whole back side of the body to give you the lift and the stretch across the front side. And then lower the hips. And do this a few times with the flow of your breath. So inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Stay down. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Point the right knee out to the side. Take the bottom leg in and thread your arms to hold under your thigh. Straighten the left leg and flex your foot. So strong flex in both feet here. And then point to your left foot and the lifted leg and flex. Point and flex and point and flex. And then circle the ankle around. Go one way, just the ankle, and the other way. Can you take your hands and hold closer to your calf and bring the leg a little bit closer in, so a little deeper hamstring stretch? And the answer might be no, and that's okay too. And then we'll lower the leg all the way down, 2 feet to the ground. Pause for a moment, notice the difference. And then second side, cross the left ankle over the right, point the left knee out. Bring the right leg in, thread the arms to hold behind the right thigh. Okay, straighten the right leg, so foot straight up towards the sky. Flex both feet really sharply and strongly at first. And then point and flex, point and flex, and point and flex. Circle the ankle one direction. And circle the ankle the second direction. Take the hands and try to hold onto your calf. Bring the leg just a little closer in. You'll probably notice quite quickly that the closer the leg comes in, you're getting a good hamstring stretch on the right leg and this super hip opener on the left, deeper in the glute. Okay, we can bring both feet back down to the mat. Take the feet as wide as your yoga mat. Take your hands out like they're a goalpost. And drop both knees over to the right side. Both knees to the right side. And the legs either stay exactly like that, or you pick your right heel up, set it down on top of the left thigh, and give it a little more pressure to find that stretch in the outer left hip now. And here we're holding the pose, just giving it some space, giving it some breath. And gently back off. Knees go across the center and over to the second side. Same thing, the knees can stay as is or add left heel on top of the outer right thigh for a little more IT band stretch on that right side. I see a little, for me it's a lot more. Just find your comfort level. Sometimes I can take it for like only a couple of breaths and then I need a release. Stay with it as works. And set the ankle down if it's on top of the leg, and then knees back to the center. Take the knees back into the chest. Heels can stay together, but knees apart. Arms to the inside of your legs. Hold the outside of your feet. Either stay there, or a little bigger happy baby. Draw the heels apart. Feet up towards the sky for this wider happy baby. Hold the pose. Keep the breath steady and moving though. And release the legs down. Take the arms overhead and give it a very full, long stretch from fingertips down to your toes. Full body stretch. Right leg straight up towards the sky. And then can you take your fingers and reach towards your foot and pull your shoulders and your head off of the mat. Hold on to your calf. Keep bringing the leg in. Let the bottom leg float up. And then take all of those same movements to lower down. Second side, lift the left leg up. And then fingers towards the foot. And you're adding on the next movements or not. Lift head and shoulders up. If that works, hold on to the left leg. Let the right leg float. Nice strong core engagement. And then back out of all the steps. Arms down, leg down. Reach overhead. Okay, and then we're going to do that same movement, but quicker. So right leg up, and you kind of pulse, and switch. Pulse the left leg in, and then the right, the left, and the right, the left, and the right. Keep going, left, right, left, and right. Lower both legs down, extend the arms out to the side now. Big T shape, whole body. And take the right knee into the chest one more time and then across the body for a twist. And we are holding here for quite a bit. Left hand can come across the right thigh. Look to the sky or off to the side. If that is not comfortable for a longer hold, try bending the bottom knee as well. Really try to slow the breath. Let it help you in this pose. Keep returning mind's eye back to that favorite place to be. Letting the practice wash over you, with you, through you, in your favorite place. And then slowly come back to center. Arms out to your T, extend both legs. And pull the left knee in, let it fall down towards the right side so you have the second direction here. It doesn't have to be the perfect shape here, just kind of letting yourself find the twist. Again, bottom right leg can stay straight or can fold into a bend as well. And work your way back to your center. From here, add in any other movement that would feel nice. Just take about 60 seconds for yourself. Pull the knees in again, a nice squeeze, that's what feels nice to me. Any other last unwinding, sort of flowy movement. And then when the body is ready for that deeper stillness, extend to your Shavasana. Arms, legs out. If you'd rather have a seated position for Shavasana today, that's fine as well. Mind's eye still easily in the breath of our favorite space. With the mind fully set in that stress-free favorite location, allow the toes, the feet, and your ankles to fully relax. The lower legs, knees, upper legs, fully relax. Relax the pelvis, the entire trunk of the body, from the lowest piece of the spine, mid-back, upper back. Fully relax. Relaxed belly so it's easy to find that fullness of breath in and out, from belly through the ribs up to the chest. Relax from your shoulders, down the arms, into your hands and fingers. Relax the neck, back of the head, the skull. Relax your face, across the eyes, the temples. Let the teeth part and the tongue drop down from the roof of the mouth to relax the jaw. Notice the flow of the breath in and out of the nose. Softness across the cheeks and the chin, the mouth. Fully release, fully relax. And then ever so slowly retreating back to the body. A little bit of movement, fingers and toes. Change to bend the knees, set the soles of the feet on the mat. Roll towards one side and pause for a moment there. And using the hands for support, come all the way back upright. As you find your seat, let your eyes still be restful, mind's eye still in your favorite retreat. Know that it's always right here for you. Carry it through your day, on in through your week. Let's close by bringing palms together, thumbs to the sternum. Bow in gratitude of yourself, each other, and for this practice of yoga. Namaste.